Clark Kellogg, CBS, Turner Sports, Westwood One College basketball analyst, and joining us. Clark, let's pick up where we just left off with replay. Is it good? Do you like it? Too much? Too little?
Oh, no, I like it. I think it's far more good than bad. But there's a human element that you can't override and you sometimes can't dismiss with technology. But I like the complementary nature of technology to help us get things right that maybe we wouldn't have in the past. But I also understand and enjoy the human element. We're going to flub names on the air. We're going to have our facts wrong when we're doing broadcasting, be it you or me or anybody else. Officials are going to miss calls. Coaches are going to make mistakes. Players are too. So we're all human. So I think that element of it is unrelenting and is going to be there, should be. We have to accept it and know that sometimes it's not going to always work out in our favor when you're in the journey of life or the heat of competition.
But also, I look at how much is enough replay or not enough. Like, what is reviewable or should be reviewable?
Well, yeah, that's a great question, Dan. And I don't know exactly where you draw the line. I think we've gone in a pretty good direction. But just because we have technology and we think we can get everything right, evidence shows that we can't. So I don't know. I think that's always going to be an ongoing debate. Where do you draw the line? What things should be reviewable? You think about goaltending, and should that be something that's able to be looked at? I tend to think it should be, but at what point, how often? Again, you have to deal with those kind of nuances. And I heard you mention unintended consequences. Sometimes you don't know those until you go down a certain road with your decision.
Virginia, a great team?
Really, really good team. And 30, was that 35-3, I think.
But do we have great teams anymore in college basketball?
It depends on how you want to look at it. I think we have, obviously the landscape has changed, but I really try to be judicious with the word great in any circumstance, just because it really is unique when you start talking about great in any category. So I would say a championship, very, very good team. Virginia.
But if you were going to sum up this game last night for somebody who didn't see it, how would you sum it up?
An excellent, compelling championship game between two deserving teams, and I probably would leave it at that. There was no monumental greatness either way. Really good teams, styles that were obviously anchored in defense, but we got what we hoped for in terms of compelling, tight, drama-filled championship game and extra basketball to boot. So I think it's one of the better championship games I've seen. That was my 23rd Final Four in some capacity as a broadcaster, and I would put it in the top five for sure of the 23 that I've been part of as a broadcaster.
If you're Texas Tech today, how are you feeling?
Disappointed, deflated, but good about the journey. That may take a minute when you're in the heat of losing a chance to win a championship. That doesn't just immediately go away, but I think those kids in that program and the coaches will be, certainly the kids and the players, kids and the coaches will be disappointed because they had an opportunity to do something uber special, and yet they'll still take great satisfaction and pride in what they built together. And some of it we don't see, Dan, the relationships, the shared adversity, overcome the bond of friendship with a diverse group of guys. Those things are lifelong and last forever. And you got this shared experience. I'm sure it didn't end the way you wanted it to, but there's so much in the journey that is life edifying, life building, and memorable and good. And I think you end up ultimately grabbing hold of that. And it's going to get better for them as the years go on, because they'll reminisce, they'll reconnect around this great journey and share stories. So I think it's painful now, but the good of it is going to be felt for a long time, what those kids accomplish.
He's Clark Kellogg, CBS, Turner Sports, Westwood One college basketball analyst. Did you play against Barkley?
Yeah, in the NBA. Yeah, we never crossed paths in college. I got drafted in '82 by the Pacers. He came to the Sixers in '84, and I'll tell you a story, man. He always tells about when he was thinking about coming out of college or had made his decision to leave college, leave Auburn after his junior year. Sonny Smith, his coach, gave him 3 guys to kind of look at that time to maybe model his game after: undersized, kind of power forwards that had some perimeter skill too, and it was me, Dantley, and John Drew. And so there was an admiration from a distance, Barkley, towards me as a player. And then when he got to the league, I think the first time we met, I got the best of him, and he implies that it was because he was a little bit in awe. And then the next time I saw him, he got the best of me because he wanted to prove that he was on our level. And I knew then this was his rookie year. I knew then he was headed for greatness because of his competitive spirit and his unique package of strength and speed and skill.
Does he talk, does he give you grief?
Always, man. He likes to jab you now. He'll jab you while he's looking at you. He'll jab you from the side or the back. I mean, he likes to stir the pot, man. He reminds me of some of my friends in Columbus that like to what we call instigate through trash talking, and he keeps it fun, and he's such a good-natured guy. I love the 3 weeks that I have with all of those guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, you see Ernie and Kenny, and then I'm with Greg and Seth quite a bit, but the 3 weeks we have together is fun, in part because there's mutual respect and we enjoy the game and a good laugh.
I'll leave you with this. If you're Chris Beard and UCLA calls.
Wow, man, you know what? I'm all about fit, Dan, and sometimes even though it shines and glitters in one way, it might not be the right fit for a guy like Chris. And I don't know Chris well enough to know what I do know. He's a fantastic coach, and he seems like a terrific guy. But it's about fit and alignment. Fit in terms of where you'll be, and alignment in terms of what you're thinking and what your administration is thinking in terms of vision and direction and culture. And if those things aren't right, then I think you have to think long and hard about staying where they are right.
Yeah, I think that's well said. Clark, it was fun, and always appreciate your time. Thank you.
Always is, Dan. Great to be with you, man. Take care.
That's Clark Kellogg, road to the Final Four, Westwood One college basketball analyst. Was one of the great high school players I ever saw. Spectacular. And knee injury. He went to Ohio State and wasn't the same kind of player health-wise when he got to the NBA, but been around a long time doing this.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.